7, and welcome to part 2 of Rayman 2. Okay, now we're at the start of the Fairy Glade. And, yeah, this music's actually pretty good. And we're on a pause screen. Oh, right, yep, my joystick was having problems. So I had to unplug my controller. Alright, yeah. Yeah, I wasn't trying to impersonate Sayanella in that beginning, but, So, alright, so we're good. We're walking around, Now, we're gonna try out some swimming. And I'll be honest, for an N64 game, I think the swimming in this game is done pretty well. I mean, at least compared to, like, Mario 64. And, yeah, we have a separate air meter from our health meter, unlike Super Mario 64. So we have to collect blue balloons to refill air. Yeah, I'm still getting used to the swimming controls. But what I like about the swimming controls, it actually shows you on the right, that Z goes down, A surfaces, Z dies, A surfaces, and you just move the control stick. Oh. And while I did say I like the swimming control, like all swimming controls, they are a bitch to learn if you haven't played the game in several years. Yeah, so I think I get it right on this time. But yes, there is a cage down here, and I am trying to do a 100% cage in loom run, but it's actually impossible to get all the looms and cage in this stage the first time you beat it. So yeah, this game does have backtracking, and I may actually miss some the first time I get to the stage. I'll probably just skip back to the part to show where they are. I mean, it happens. I'm not using a guide for this or anything. I'm playing this as if I'm playing for the first time. And that's the swingy mushroom. They show up every now and again in this game. If you ever played like DK64 or Banjo-Kazooie, you're probably familiar with them. So this part gets a little confusing because I'm not sure which way goes towards the cage, or which way actually advances the level. So you can't swim in this water. Anytime there's water with this sign with piranha on it, you can't swim in there. There's the explanation on red looms, which I already know. So yeah, in the N64 version, the music changes in each section of the level, whereas the PS1 and the other higher quality games, they'll usually have like one soundtrack per level, and it won't change until you do the cutscene. And there's the first switch. It doesn't look like it, but this log is a pain in the butt to walk on, especially with an N64 analog stick. Up into the cage. This game, everything in the cage except for that, except for the last cage in the Woods of Light, they're yellow looms. But in the PS1 version, they're like animals, and one of the animals in there is Is actually Murphy, where they just call him a bottlenose and a green bottle. No, not bottlenose. Bottlenose the dolphin. No, the green bottle, which is what Murphy is. But like I said, Murphy doesn't appear in the PS1 game, so they just use his model as a creature inside a cage. So, if we fall off the log, we have to go through this section again. Now, you can punch the piranha, so teeth pop out, and then they poof into smoke, but it's not permanent. So they're always going to be there. If you ever played Rayman 1, it's kind of the same thing. When you punch the fish popping up out of the water, their teeth break and they fall back down. Well, that's how they fell back down in Rayman 1. The red loom we missed. There's the baby glow boxes. They want their daddy back. We want daddy. We want daddy. Alright, here's another green lung. Oh, the green lungs. Forgot to mention this. They, yeah. Like that thing says, they, help you. You respawn if you, die. Unless you lose all your health. In which case, you restart at the beginning of the section of the, either at the portal or like where a cutscene happened. Now this section I actually think is pretty cool because like there's a pump pumping sludge into the water, and you have to we have to use it. Right now I'm trying to reach that barrel, which actually don't think you can't reach from right here. I don't think. But yeah, I always thought that was kind of cool. In the PS1 version, I think you actually have to start up the machine so you can use it as a platform. This one, it's already going. Yeah, you have to jump. Yes, you have to jump from there to get over to that platform. Then you can ride the barrel. Yeah, I will admit the camera in this game isn't great, but I think it's actually better than Super Mario 64's camera. I mean, that's actually, I know, Super Mario 64 came out first, but, I mean, seriously, but this game, I think this game only came out like a few years later. I don't even think it was, I think it was like about a year, actually, after Mario 64, maybe not even, don't quote me, I really don't know my gaming history that much. But yeah, so, right, we just used the pumps of the machine as platforms to get up to that alcove over there. And now this is another section of the level, so if you were to lose all your health, at this point in the game, you would just go back to here. And, this part. growth. They're like the bows, the black bows in Majora's Mask. They're a little not as cute, but yeah, they respawn. They don't die permanently. And I'm looking for cages, and I think I walk on like all the branches on this tree because it's just like I have no idea what the hell I'm doing. Yeah, every branch. Alright, alright. Looks like we're gonna do some more here in water. I think we're gonna do some more water sliding. Yep. Alright. Here's another water part. See that cage up there? Well, I didn't really look at it long enough. But yeah, we can't get there yet. That's where the backtracking comes into play. You can't get there until much later in the game. This wall is kind of weird. You have to jump up higher, but not jump away from the wall, which sounds simple, but it actually, well, it is simple, but, you know, when the first time you're playing this, especially when, you know, first on N64, you're not going, after playing, like, Super Mario 64, you're not gonna, it's gonna seem weird, because, you know, Mario 64, you automatically jump away from the wall when you jump off, so, so here's the next section. Yeah, that section was pretty short. This section is pretty weird. Now I want you to notice something. In this game, see that pirate? He's red. But for some reason in the PS1 version, and I think maybe the Revolution and Dreamcast version, the pirate is, no, the Dreamcast version is red. But yeah, the PS1 and Revolution, for some reason the pirate is green, but it does pretty much the same thing. I have no idea why they changed it. So this part right here is easy to miss because, you know, when the pirate is shooting at you, you're gonna try to, you want to progress in the level. You're probably not gonna do some exploring, but if you don't, you're gonna miss this. There's a few looms and cage over here. It's very, very easy to miss. Pretty much most first-time players, I think most first-time players are gonna miss this. And these red looms are on a timer. If you get all of them in the time limit, you get your meter gets fully refilled. Doesn't matter at this point because the meter's already full. One thing I forgot to mention is that, yes, it is possible to miss the looms that come out of the cages, because, yeah, you can break the cage but not pick up the looms, which is kind of weird. And the point of the cages, the cages increase your health. After you get a certain amount, your health increase. And the looms, if you weren't paying attention to the intro, the yellow looms make up the heart of the world. The heart of the world? Yeah, the part of the heart of the world, because it was shattered by the pirates into 1,000 looms, and that's where you're collecting them. But they also, the more you collect them, can also unlock knowledge of the world, which you get by pressing L. I think I show it off in some of the later parts, but yeah, if you can hear the help, but we actually get that cage later in the level. A little weird, but yeah, misleading. I love this theme. I love this attack theme, with especially that bass. So this one's telling you to use your shadow, which is actually something you do need to know because you will encounter that a lot in this game. Oh, I missed it. Yeah, the only way I think you can actually get those is if you just jump, you don't hover. This part... So this part actually has, like, no music, so it's very, very eerie, and then you have, like, the only thing, especially when the only thing you're hearing is, like, those bombs dropping on top of you. So creepy. Yeah, I'm actually looking for a barrel, because I forgot you can actually punch those down with your fist. Yeah, so we actually have to try to point this. Right now we have to disable those lasers because those shock us and prevent us from moving. They also take away our health. And alright. This is kind of like the sidestep if any of you have ever played Mario Sunshine. You press these, kind of like the sidestep. What the hell am I doing? Oh yeah. Yeah, see, yeah, those you have to destroy with a barrel. So this is our first enemy with a health bar. Pirate thing is pretty cool. And the battles in this game aren't really complicated, but your fists don't really do jack. So, and these guys tend to have a lot of firepower. So that's what makes the battles challenging. And at later levels, the enemies will have larger health meters and crap. So yeah, it can get pretty hard at the later points of the game. So this is a powder keg. You throw it at the door and it explodes. Again, this is another cage you'll probably miss the first time you play it because you're not going to be looking for the stuff. God, this part is so eerie. In the PS1 version of this level, yeah, it's in this part. They actually have anti-tunes. Anti-tunes were one of the most commonly found enemies in the Rayman 1. They actually used like sprites, and they were enemies that they were one-hit enemies that you hit, but it was a cool little callback to Rayman 1, but they didn't appear in any other version of the game, not even in Revolution. Yep, that's what happens when you hit the lasers. You turn invisible, and you get shocked. That's a springy trampoline thing. It's pretty cool. So, fortunately that wasn't the switch we were looking for. So have to get past these lasers. Now I know oh, okay, here's a sleeping pirate. We can't actually sneak past him, but there's really no point, because if we beat him we get red along. get red loons. Yep, and there's the lasers. Now, what I was saying before, I know I talked about a lot of cosmetic changes, but in the PS1 version, and some of the other versions, I'm not sure which ones, the lasers are actually red, and they're like, yeah, so they're actually like, you know, the lasers that you see in like, you know, those spy movies where you hit one and it shoots off, sends off sensors and stuff like that. But yeah, in this game, this version of the game, they're blue. So this is where we find Lee. She's in that prison, which zaps us if we get close. I think the first time I played this, I didn't try to touch that until like this time. But yeah, I'd heard you try to catch it. So, if this is your first time playing the game, this is probably where you'll find the powder keg. Okay, yeah, this music's pretty cool. Like I said, I like most of the music in this game. So basically what you're trying to do is there's a bunch of, there's 3 Band-Aid patches on this thing. You have to shoot down with a powder keg. But the problem is the machine is also shooting those cannonballs at you, which if they hit you, they destroy your powder keg. So what you have to do is you have to toss the keg up and punch them while you walk forward, because you can't hit the machine from that far away. And it doesn't auto-aim. You actually have to aim for those different spots in order to destroy the machine. I guess you could say this is like your first boss, but I don't know. It really isn't much of a boss. But it's a pain in the butt. So we have one more to go. Yeah, I'll be honest, I actually like the design they have of this machine in Rayman Revolution much better. It's a lot cooler looking. This is just, you can honestly tell it's just a sprite. Even the laser, even the little electric laser thing is a sprite. But in Revolution, it's a lot more built up. Looks very more like a machine. Oh, and here's our cutscene with Lee. So, now that we're watching a cutscene, you're actually hearing them speak gibberish. The voice actors in this game, fun fact, 3 of them are actually, most people would know them from the English dub of Code Lyoko. Rayman is David Gassman, who voices Jim and a few other minor characters. The voice of Lee is the same chick who voiced Sissy. And the voice of Razorbeard, who just sounds like machine clunking in this version, is David Gatesky, who voiced Odd. This is a little tidbit for you there. And now Lee is explaining us to find the masks. And we need the mask to awaken Polycus to defeat the pirates. Silver Loom! Yeah, we'll see her a few times in this game. Although you'd hope you see like more of her, because she's like a major character and all. like her better than Patilla from the first Rayman. And actually, well, okay, Patilla looks hot in Rayman Origins. Rayman Origins. I'm not gonna lie, but Patilla in the first Rayman is like she's dressed like a clown. Alright. So yeah, this part is a little confusing because it's hard to figure out where you need to climb up because everything looks the same. So yeah. Again, the Fairy Glade, despite its name, has a lot of creepy music. Or the lack thereof of music, and it's so freaky. Oh, and now here's the purple loom. The only looms in this game to have eyes. Well, that and the smiley yellow looms. But in PS1 version, again, going back to PS1 version, yeah, all the looms had eyes, which looked pretty weird. And in bring up Rayman Arena, which is heavily based on Rayman 2. The purple looms don't have eyes at all, and they have like bat wings as opposed to like fairy wings, which honestly to me fits this kind of Rayman a lot better because this is like a dark version of Rayman. I mean, Rayman itself is pretty dark because in even the first game, when you think about it, because it's like it's very happy, but it's like hard as hell. And the evil guy lives in like a Candyland. There's something weird about that. It's dark in a weird way, but Rayman 2 and sequel Rayman 3 kind of go more along the lines of the darkness, like the dark shadows, the dark environments, and stuff like that, and the dark plots. So, I mean, it's not too dark because it's it's a kid's game, but alright. So this is the pitfall. This is also a confusing part of the level because you can easily miss looms if you don't like hover. Like that one. I just missed that one right there. Here's another pirate. Nope, that's not a pirate. Looks like a pirate, but no, this is part of the pipe. There is a pirate here, somewhere. There is a pirate. I can show you that there's a pirate here. So this part is also very disorienting because it's actually very, very big, even though you're only going in one direction, so it's very easy to miss cages and looms. This part of the level, but if you hear whining, that's my cat. I think that's the pirate. Yes, he's guarding a cage. Oh, I died. So, something I didn't mention is that when you die, unless you turn off the game, you don't lose your lungs. You don't lose your looms. You it saves your looms, it saves your cages. So that's a blessing. Yeah, so the best way to defeat that pirate is to get it from the air as opposed to getting it from the ground. Cage, yeah. Look at all that sludge. Look at all that sludge. So this part of the level is actually weird. You have to use air. You have to use air currents to get up, and you never see this in any other part of the game. And I honestly think that the Fairy Glade is one of the longest levels in the game because they just throw in like all this stuff, even if it doesn't really make much sense. They just kind of throw it in as like there's a pit. We'll throw in a pit. We'll throw in like a solid Metal Gear kind of level. You know, do and then we'll do these air currents. I mean, the PS1 version actually drops these. I think you just climb a ladder and you get to the end of the level or something. You don't even do this. You don't even do the air currents. It's also weird because you don't have to go into all the air currents to get to the end. In fact, I think you have to backtrack. But you have to go through all the air currents to get the looms, because the looms, there's at least one loom in each air current. Cat won't stop meowing. Okay. So yeah, so this part's a little boring, and this music is not my favorite. It plays a lot. It actually plays a lot in this game, but it's one of my least favorite music because it's just like generic drum beats. Oh my god, I've run out of stuff to say because this part is boring and also very hard. It's very hard. This level is very hard for a second level. I mean, it's not hard in general, but I mean, you know, for the lengths, and you know, the stuff you have to do, like this kind of stuff. I mean, there's a lot of looms and key to the sigil miss on your first run. These are some of them. These are the ones in these currents you are most likely going to skip over because by the time you get to this part, you're going to be so sick of this level, you're just going to skip past them. But since I'm going for a 100% run, I'm going to be getting them. Okay. Yeah, so, I guess you can't tell. What makes these looms, like, really hard to get is that you have to drop, but you have to helicopter at the right moment, right when you get it, otherwise you will fall too far, and it'll just drop to the bottom. I actually don't think I got all the looms. So, yeah, that's also hard to get. So to get to the end of the level, you have to hit that. You gotta punch that purple loom. That purple loom. Ugh. Yeah, it's loom like Lumiere because it's a French. Rayman is made by a French gaming company, Ubisoft Montpellier. And so you have to punch that in the helicopter form, which is kind of weird because you never think you'd be able to do it. And here's the last cage we're getting in this level right now. At the end of each level, at the end of each level there's a TC. And he will open the portal to this one. In the PS1 version, you just climb a ladder to get up here, and then you free the TC, and that's it. You don't have to do the stupid air currents, but Now, in all the levels after the Woods of Light or the Clearing, depending on version, you can play a bonus stage if you get all the looms and all the cages. But we couldn't do that in this part. So, this is the end of part 2. Part 3, we will start the Marshes of Awakening. One of my favorite parts that I had from